Y'all, this is episode 10. Episode 10. I made the promise that on episode 10, we would reveal the name of the podcast. And the name is, drumroll please, the Packed Out Podcast, POP. So hopefully you guys enjoy the name. I guess our spirit animal for the podcast will be the wolf. Because we are the Packed Out Podcast. You get the concept wolf pack. You know what I'm saying? POP. You know what I'm saying? Not too bad. Oh, see, that's the only thing. I'm a little worried about copyrights when it comes to something. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Hold the mic. It's 10 episodes. You can't hold the mic.
That was like a little TikTok thing. I don't think that was like a trademark thing.
Probably not. But you know how people be when they get the, the one little phrase. Yeah, they be getting into it.
Ours has a better meaning.
I think art is more meaningful. It's not, you know what I'm saying, anything other the little meme or whatever. A little bit greater.
Show you right
there. All right, as you can see, we got 4 people on the podcast. You got me, Sam, Bam, Nigel, and one more. Introduce yourself, man. Who we got on the Packed Out Podcast?
Well, I go by Ant. That's it. You can call me Big Part Dog. Follow me on IG. Yeah.
Big brother Part Dog.
Who? You gotta say it at the end. It's like a fraternity. It's like a fraternity. You know what I'm saying? Big brother Part Dog. Who? You know what I'm saying? Like that. Say it like that. No, call me Ant. Call me Ant.
That ain't it.
Call me Ant.
Where you from, man?
I'm from Georgia originally. Yeah.
Macaroni, Georgia. Ain't that what they call it? Ain't that what they call it?
Nah, bro. I'm from the Matt Town, 478. Macon, Georgia.
Oh, macaroni. Acorn, Georgia.
Right, all
Macarons.
that. Home of Lil Richard, home of Otis Redding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Richard.
So, we represent. We out here. You know what I mean? We in Germany with my boys from the DMV.
That's cute.
And
I'm about to say,
this dude.
I'm a hybrid. I'm a hybrid.
How are you a hybrid?
I'm from the
He's
DMV
a liar.
And
He is a liar.
I'm from Ohio.
How does that even make sense?
I'm from the VA. I'm from the city of love.
They say 2 up, 2 down.
What they say?
Oh yeah, shout out to VA actually though, for real. You know what I'm saying?
Big love in the big love.
It's like my second home.
VA. We don't
What part of VA?
Portsmouth. Born in Portsmouth, Virginia.
I
Used to
get
be
to
around
you.
Virginia Beach.
I get to you. That's 7-5. The 7-5. They show love. They will.
You're from Ohio, bro.
I was
I don't care what you
raised in
say
Ohio.
about no
You
Virginia.
was born in a cornfield
You're from Ohio.
in Ohio.
Raised in Ohio.
You was square just like Ohio.
Raised in Ohio.
A rectangle.
I don't claim Ohio.
Here's
I don't
the
like
thing.
Ohio. I've been there all my whole life. I was born.
Here's the thing. I was technically born in D.C. But I don't think I'm justified in claiming D.C. because I was raised in Maryland.
No, you got
Because the culture of D.C. is a little different than Maryland.
Maryland.
I just say
You know
born
what I'm
and
saying?
raised.
Does that make sense?
Born here, raised.
So you like grew up on like crab cakes and stuff like that?
I mean, yeah, you had the crab cakes in Maryland. I mean, seafood, anything in Maryland is pretty big, to be honest with you. So, but yeah, I think where you born could be one place, but where you raised and what you claim, I think that's what really matters. Where you were raised is what you should claim. That's what I'm saying.
I like just the distinguish born here.
I mean,
raised
for
here.
me though, I feel like it's a little different because like my mom is from New York, but my dad is from Georgia. So we would spend like it would kind of be like back and forth holidays. Most holidays I was in New York during the school year. I was in Georgia.
You from GA? You was
So
at
it's
Cascade every
I don't
weekend.
claim
Stop
New
the
York at
cap.
all. I'm just saying like my hybrid, and then I'm you know what I'm saying I lived in Virginia too, so it's like no, I'm really just from the East Coast.
You worldwide.
That's all I'm saying.
Mr. Worldwide.
We global now.
All right, hopping into one of the first topics for episode 10 of the Packed Out Podcast. I might say that a few times. I ain't gonna lie. Got to get the name embedded. Got to get the name embedded. Yeah. All right, so Colorado is facing USC this weekend, coming back from a loss to Oregon. Now, what would you categorize that loss to be? Brutal, expected, unexpected? How would you describe that loss from Colorado, or that loss from Oregon to Colorado? Why you make that?
The glasses.
I ain't know he was passing the mic to me.
It's anybody can answer. I asked the question. Y'all answer the question.
I'll go first. Everybody seen it that Oregon dominated from the beginning of the game. Yeah. And Colorado couldn't get nothing going for the most part. So I mean, I feel like prime for this upcoming game against USC is going to be a little bit different because USC defense is not as dominant as Oregon was, but USC offense is way better than Oregon's offense. So they're going to have to put their heads together, pause, and damn, bro, I wasn't trying to do that. You have to cut this out. It's too late. But they're going to have to get the team together and basically play better. Of course, play better than what they did against Oregon. But when they play against USC, I feel like they have more of a chance this time, especially with USC defense being weaker than Oregon's defense.
What is it? Colorado versus Oregon? No, I was about to bring up. Did we make a comment? We talking about that one too? You know, Colorado versus Oregon. Flat out ass whooping. What Prime say? He said I forgot what the phrase he described it as. Some old school phrase, but it was a flat out ass whooping. They got their asses handed to them. I didn't think that was gonna happen. I remember we was at weekend out last weekend. We was talking about it. I had hope. I had faith. I didn't think it was gonna do them like that. Yeah, it was bad. Like by halftime, it was OV. It was OV. That was ugly. I would like to see what it'd have been like if they'd had Travis Hunter. Do I think would have made a difference? Not really, but it might not have got blown out.
You don't think so?
They might not have got blown out, but they would have still lost, I feel like. But this weekend, USC Colorado, I feel like they're gonna come out. Colorado gonna come out with something to prove. I feel like it might be a little different, but they are like Bam said, they handling a different beast offensively. Caleb Williams, Heisman winner last year, doing this thing again this year. Might possibly be the next 2-time Heisman winner, with just how he doing and how his odds is stacking right now. But I don't know. After me making that prediction last weekend and thinking Colorado wasn't gonna get beat like that, I don't even know what to say this weekend. It's just gonna be another game we got to tune in to see.
So you think Caleb Williams, if they win this weekend, you think he's still in the Heisman race?
That's gonna be a big debate too. If they lose, I mean, depending on how you do, I feel like he's still gonna drop his numbers.
I mean, I feel like last week that game was definitely like a humbling experience for real. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's a new system, new coach, pretty much new staff, new everything for Colorado. For them, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be a good experience for, you know, Shedeur and all the other guys on the offense, even without Travis. I definitely feel like Travis would have made a difference. I'm not saying I don't think they necessarily would have won, but I don't think they would have got it blown out like that. You know what I mean? Because he playing offense and defense. So he making an impact on both sides of the ball. But, yeah, that game was humbling for sure. For sure. This upcoming week, though, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's going to be interesting to see. Because, you know, it's going to be a lot of stars there. Like, they already released, like, you know, like LeBron and Bronny, they're going to be there. Snoop Dogg going to be there. Will Ferrell, Matthew McConaughey, like, people like that. Like, having more eyes on the game. I mean, don't get me wrong. Last week had a lot of eyes on it, but like a bounce back week, everyone's really trying to see like what he's gonna do. You know what I mean? There's a lot of there's always a lot of like criticism around like Prime, not just as a coach but just as a person. But then also like his sons, both of them, and like with Shedeur having such a relationship with Tom Brady. Me personally, I hope it has a positive impact on him. I ain't gonna lie. I'm really not rooting for him to lose. I'm really not. I don't know. After last week, it's kind of hard to get your hopes up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely rooting for him. You know what I mean?
Nah, completely. I can understand that. The fact that you said Travis Hunter wouldn't have made, like, I think Travis Hunter would have made the biggest difference. You're talking about Shedeur's number one weapon, and he lost that. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the same guy that made the difference in game 1 and 2.
The leader of their defense, too.
Yeah, I would actually agree. He's probably top 2 leaders, top 3 maybe. But yeah, I think he would have made a crazy impact had he finished that game.
What would it have been like? What would be the difference if he'd have been?
I think give me a score. At minimum, what was the score? It was like 42-6. I think it definitely would have been a higher scoring game from Colorado. Not ending the game with 6 points, but at least call it 24.
40 something. So
yeah, I definitely think Oregon would have stayed with the 40 something they had, but it definitely would have been a higher scoring performance from Colorado if they simply had Travis Hunter. the number one weapon on their offense for Shador and for Colorado's offense holistically. Like, if he would have finished that game, they would have looked a whole lot better overall. We wouldn't be talking about 40-something to 6. We would be talking about 40-something to 20-something. At least a double digit versus just a 6. Now, Parker, you brought up something that I think has been one of the highlights for Colorado, and that's how much, I guess, notoriety they're getting, how many views they're getting, how many people are tuning in to watch their games. Hypothetical. Let's say they lose the next 6 games. Oh, not even 6. 6 might be a stretch. Let's say they lose the next, call it 2 to 3 games.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Do you expect, and this is for everybody, do y'all expect for them to continue to get this level of notoriety, views, attention on the platform that it is right now? Or will it fall off for Colorado?
My short answer is going to be yes. The long answer, or I guess the explanation, is like, I feel like a lot of people just support Deion Sanders. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at like Colorado from last year, they've already doubled. They 3-1. So I mean, they got 2 more wins than they had last season. Their ticket sales have increased like dramatically. Their jersey sales, like, they basically. I mean, I don't know their financial state of their program, their athletic program, but shit, you ain't gonna run into somebody that's gonna like double, triple what you made last year. You know what I'm saying, or the like last 5 years, let's say. So I feel like I feel like it's still gonna be there. You know what I'm saying, because like a lot of those players still have like NIL deals. A lot of those guys, they just did a 60-minute story on it. Like, they're gonna keep following it. I feel like, just because of the overall story, the overarching story, like the long term, like 3, 4, 5 year, like looking at Prime going from when he started at Jackson State, when his sons was at Jackson State, you know, their whole. If you don't follow it as someone that like storytelling, like you gonna miss it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it might not be as like publicly like known. Like, everybody ain't gonna be like, oh yeah, Deion Sanders. I mean, I probably still will be, honestly, but like, that's because I like seeing black men win. I ain't gonna lie. The man's a good father. He might not be the best coach. He might not be the best, leader of a team or whatever. But like, he got some of the things that I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know about. I can't really speak for y'all, but like, a black man that, is a father that's there for his children and also a good career man, like has a good career. Win or lose, football wise, like I'd rather have that any day. You know what I mean? So at least for me personally, I'm gonna still support him.
I feel like if they lose the next 2 to 3 games, I feel like viewer wise, I don't know. I can't speak if I really wouldn't be able to, in my opinion, predict how I feel if they would gain or lose followers. But I do think if they lose the next 2 or 3 games, their viewers, it'll be a lot more trolling. It'll be a lot more. They'll be on their ass with like just funny memes and bring up a whole bunch of probably past comments and be like, y'all said this, but this ain't happening. It'll be a lot of trolling. I feel like if they lose the next 2 to 3 games, I feel like that'll be the only difference. It'll be viewing, but they'll be viewing the troll. They be viewing the just do them dirty in the media, social media, all that. They be coming at them crazy. But just Prime being the coach he is, the team being the way it is, the dogs they got out there, I feel like if it did get like that, that might just fuel them to like turn the season around real fast and start turning up real quick. But that's the biggest thing I would think would happen if they lose the next 2, 3 games. There's a lot of trolls that would come out the woodwork.
Yeah. In my opinion, I feel like the viewers would definitely go down for sure. But I don't feel like it's going to be drastic. You know what I mean? They're always going to be watching Deion and his team because he's Deion Sanders, right?
Word.
But for the most part, what Deion has done, what Parker already allocated to, is that he's a great coach, in my opinion. He's acknowledging his mistakes, taking ownership of his team, which a lot of people don't do. A lot of people will blame the other person and point the finger, but he's taking ownership of what his team went through last weekend. You know what I mean? And he's promising people that, hey, we're going to be back. And people, and like what Nigel was saying, I feel like even when their record was 0-0, they were getting trolled because no one believed. That's why Deion is saying, "Do you believe now?" Because his team believed the whole time, but the people never believed. So I feel like that's always going to be there, regardless of the outcome of their season, because it's Deion Sanders. Some people don't want to see him win. And others want to be like Others are like Parker, where they want to see Deion Sanders win and bring a 1-16 team or 1-10 team last season to a successful season. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's the number one thing. And another thing that Parker allocated to is the attributes that Deion have. So I feel like how Deion, takes ownership and is very confident in himself, whether he's right, whether he's wrong, he's confident in everything he do. And I feel like everybody should have that type of attribute, because if you're not confident in what you do, then there's something wrong with you, in my opinion. You got to be confident. You got to walk with confidence, talk with confidence.
If you look good, you play good.
I don't know how true that is, but there's a lot of people that quote unquote look good that suck. Nah, I don't know.
You ain't lying.
I definitely agree though. It's one thing to have internal confidence, to know within yourself that you can get the job done, but it's applying that with your hands and actually getting the job done. And Deion was able to resemble that, not only at Jackson State, but I think he's going to have a successful season at Colorado. My question is, what would y'all deem to be a successful season for Colorado? Because for some people would say, hey, look, if you give me 6 wins with Colorado, given your schedule, that's a successful season.
From whose perspective?
I'm just talking broad strokes here. Like, it could be one person saying, hey, look, 6 wins is good. That's a successful season.
I'm saying,
but for Deion's perspective, like, only having 6 wins is not a successful season. Right? But, like, what would you, as a viewer, a spectator, one who watches the sport of football, and obviously Colorado, what would you deem for them to be a successful season? Could be record. Like, what would you deem for it to be a successful season at the end of the year?
I feel like Deion is pushing for a bowl win. I feel like he's pushing at least to get to a bowl game. That would be big for Colorado. Speaking off of what their record was like last year, either get to a bowl game and win one. I feel like the whole do you believe now? I feel like they personally believe they can win a bowl game. I feel like if they get to a bowl game, in the eyes of the world, that'll be at that point, like, can you hate on this man? He turned the team that went from whatever their record was last year to bringing them to a bowl game. Like, at that point, it's like you can't hate that man. Like, the man turned the whole organization around football wise. But yeah, that's basically my take on that part.
I mean, I feel like they already been a success to a certain extent already. You know what I mean? While it might not like be the ultimate goal that they looking for, like, I don't know, national championship, which is very far fetched. Don't get me wrong, like, very far fetched.
If they would have beat Oregon, if they would have, I mean, speaking in the future wise, if they would have beat Oregon and UFC, would you be thinking national championship at that point?
Twin, come on, bro. Look, bro.
Depends on how they beat them, in my opinion.
But a win is a win.
A win is a win.
No, because some wins is not the best way to win. Exactly. You can play terrible quality football and still win. That don't make you a national championship team.
No, they
playing terrible quality football.
Like I said, man, they've had some success for sure. Like, it's no doubt about that. If you went from 1 win to 3 wins, like, shit, the best way to build a mountain is if you start collecting rocks. So if you collect 1 rock every day, you're gonna have a mountain eventually. They ain't there yet. They ain't even halfway there yet. But, like, it's been success. Like I said, like, they ticket sales, the support for, like, all their athletic programs. Like, yeah, we forget, like, he has a daughter too that plays basketball at the University of Colorado. So, like, that's also notoriety that program, women's basketball program, is getting. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, it's overall. You know what I mean? And then his other son, Junior, he does, like, media, well off media or whatever it's called, and, like, I don't know. What I'm saying is it's bringing a lot of, like, attention and spotlight to the university. So it's, like, giving not even just, like, the people that are already there, like the players, coaches, you know what I'm saying, staff and everybody, but also, like, he just recently met or, had a recruiting visit with one of the, like, top quarterbacks in the upcoming recruiting class in high school. Like, people are thinking about this. Like, yeah, I could go to a SEC school. You know what I'm saying? I could go to Georgia, Alabama. I could go to Ohio State. I could go to Michigan. I could go to, USC. I could go to, like, one of these, like, big name Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could go to one of those schools, but now, like, with Prime bringing spotlight and, like, exposure to, like, a smaller football program like Colorado, it's kind of like raising the bar for the amount of exposure that is available to people that go there. You know, not just football, like all of their programs. Because I'm sure the other coaches, when they send in their athletic directors meeting or whatever, like the football coach in there, the women's track coach, the men's golf coach, the swim team coach. You know what I mean? Like, they all in there, so they all like. He's not just having an impact on the football team, yo. He's having a lot of success, for sure.
So you would deem just overall his impact to Colorado University, their athletic department, to be a success. Not just the football team, like you said, the swim team, softball, like basketball. All of that has been a success. Even without seeing, like, basketball transpire, swimming transpire, you would still say that it was a success for their athletic department?
I feel like money-wise. I feel like that's what you mean, money-wise.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like, as a program, like Colorado University Athletics, they definitely winning. Like, they're not upset at all. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like the whole university, is successful now because Deion is there. Because soon Deion got signed there. And mind you, if you speaking on basketball, Deion was signed during the basketball season. And their basketball team, they made it to the turn. No, they weren't bad. Put it like that. They weren't bad. They weren't terrible. And he brought a lot of attention to the fans. And if Deion was at that basketball game, guess who else was at that basketball game? Everybody from Colorado and their mother. So he's turned not just the football team, not just the basketball team with his daughter, but the whole university upside down. He's bringing the whole world the spotlight from the whole world is on Colorado right now. So we can talk about his record in the football program, which I feel like we all was confident that Deion was definitely going to do better than last year for what they did at 1-10 or whatever record that was. We all knew he was deemed to do better than that last year. So we're not really surprised from the outcome. We might have expectations of him to go undefeated or to go freaking lose only 2 games or something like that. But at the same time, what he's done so far before the freaking season even started, man, dude is successful. Even during the season, dog, he's putting up $1 million+ dollars off of sunglasses. You know what I mean? Like, who else is doing that as a head coach? Nobody. What he's done for the freaking football stadium and others in the community, who else is doing that? Nobody but Deion. So soon they brought Deion to Colorado, everything changed. And he's flipped the program, the whole university, upside down.
And let's not forget, like, he's having an impact on, like, yes, he's coaching his sons, but, like, the people that he's coaching with, like I just said, like, the other coaches at the school, they getting, like, leadership, guidance, experience from him. But then also, like, the people that's playing there, like I said, like, most times, like, you go to a big school or you go on an athletic scholarship, they're not really worried about your, like, character development. Like, that seems to be one of his, like, big things. You know what I mean?
No, I completely agree. I think he cares about you as a dog, you as a person, individual, especially when we're talking about his football team, you as a man, before there comes, like, the football game. So I definitely agree. Definitely wishing the best of luck for Colorado football, Deion Sanders, the whole team. Shador, we want to see you with the Heisman Trophy. Or, oh boy, what's his name? Travis Hunter. Maybe one of y'all two get the Heisman Trophy this year. But yeah, good luck to y'all this season. Transitioning over to music. So our good friend, Rod Wave, not really our good friend, but Rod Wave dropped an album.
Yes, sir.
If I'm not mistaken, the album's called Nostalgia or something like that.
Where did the day go?
Oh, my God. So, our Nigel here has been raving about this one song.
The best on the album.
All right, tell them Tell them the best song and why it's the best song.
Best song on the album. Y'all already know. I shouldn't even have to say it. Y'all probably already know.
The party at a century.
Well, like, take your guess right now. I'm pretty sure you're thinking the same thing I'm about to say, but the best song on the album, Great Gatsby. all over social media. It might be one. It's like a short song, but it's just the chorus. The chorus don't got you hooked. You're not a Rod Wave fan.
Sing it for us.
You gotta put that joint on. Look, you turn it up right now, guys.
Right, man. You still connected?
That's.
You might have to turn it on.
I'm reaching with this one, but I give it top 15, top 10 song of the year. Top 10, top 15
I had to
year.
look at a list of all the songs that was hot this year because I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. It's been a lot of what we talking about, like hot as far as like what. That's what I'm saying.
It's at least top 25. It's up there.
I could see top 25, but to say like top 5, top 10, I don't know.
I was joking with that one, but it's a top song of the year.
Like you low key mean it though.
Is it for me?
Yeah, okay.
On my Apple Music top 2000 play, it's gonna be number 5 to 1. One of them.
Play that joint.
I be
day,
at work driving. That be it be the body of the
singing.
I be on the airfield.
I saw
pulling up on the maintainers and everything. They be like, "What is wrong with me?" Well, I be going crazy.
Like, is you all right?
Best song.
Yeah, I'm good. I
on
just
the
like this.
album.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't care what nobody say. Best song on the album.
Oh, it's connected.
Best song.
Turn it back on. Didn't it?
What's y'all opinion of the best song? All right, the second best song on the album. Cause y'all know it's the best song, guys. Come on, it's not.
Honestly though,
Y'all even said that it's catching on to y'all.
No, I always acknowledged it as a really good song on the album. I'll give you top 5 on the album for Great Gatsby.
Top 5.
I'll give you top 5.
bro.
Top,
it's not number 5.
One.
It's not
not
5.
Two.
It's not number 5.
Top 1 and not 2.
Oh, all right.
Top 5.
So Sam, what would you say your number 1 is? On
What is it? Fugazi. top
Here
1.
we go.
Stop acting
for me,
Fugazi.
it's probably. I'm looking at my phone right now. I'd probably say Crazy.
That's a good song.
I'd probably say Crazy.
Turks and Caicos.
Ain't it fun?
Turks and Caicos, I think, is a little overrated. It was
Turks-
good though. The beat is crazy.
I feel
crazy.
like he should have dropped that song like in the summertime.
Turks and Caicos.
Yes,
Turks and
like
As
he
a
Caicos.
single and then put it on the album.
Yeah, he should have dropped that joint as a single. That's a summertime song. You drop that joint in the fall, bro, or at the end of the summer. You know what I mean?
But it's still a bop though.
It's a vibe. It
They
is.
probably would have hit a little harder.
Honestly, for me, it hit personally. It's my favorite because I just found out my grandparents are from Turks and Caicos, so that's my theme.
That was a
song
sweet spot in your heart.
now. Yeah.
What is it? Backlit, Turks and Caicos.
Backlit.
Number 1.
Get
Great
out your feelings
Gatsby.
and get in the back. Yeah, he was stepping on that beat. He snapped.
Great Gatsby.
He did.
You can't tell me Great Gatsby don't come on. You just don't want to sing. It's the best. Best song on the album. I put it on in the car. Y'all was feeling it. Come on.
Because I like the whole album.
Because you was hearing what he was saying. He was like, banger. What did he say?
I would say either come see me or maybe call your
Come to
friend.
Me was good.
Yeah.
Come to Me. Pause. You gotta pause. Go ahead, Nigel.
They be killing it with these little parts on the beginning. That song on the album. You do a word by word again?
Where you at right now? Let me pull up and let's talk about it. I finally got some time alone and I thought about it. I swear to God, your love is worth so much I can see. I've been thugging for so long, they give me a break. Late nights I reminisce about you, it's hard to forget about you. I swear I can't live with you, but I can't live without you. Jumped off of a plane on the island and I'm sick without you. Ain't left my hotel in 3 days, I feel sick without you. Sick without you. My stomach is turning, I feel sick without you. My closest friend, my worst enemy. I'm not okay when we're apart, but I pretend to be. I threw the body of the century. The people came home and knowing that's over. And it was all for you. It was all for you.
That song on the album.
Oh, man, you finna play some vibes for real. Hold on.
After hearing it,
Opposite to you. She's your wife.
it's like a throwback.
Yes.
When I saw you, boy, I had nowhere to hide.
Who is
And when I turned, I found you up down left to right. You like fire.
What is that?
I give it a. It's like an 8 to 7. 8 to 7.
I've never heard somebody go from 8 to 7.
Backwards.
I've heard the 7 to 8, but 8 to 7.
It was good, then it wasn't.
I feel like I want to say maybe the one he released last fall. That one was probably above this one. But this one's like a 7 or 8. 8 to 7.
I don't know. I like seeing like an artist like full development. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was brought to, I guess, the public's attention that he was struggling like with his like mental health. You know what I'm saying? So like, you ain't hear what he said? He said, "I've been under this rock for so long, can't let the world know."
I know the word.
Come on, bro.
No, I know every word.
Like,
on
bro,
the song.
he really talking about his real life. So like for me, it's an 8 at least. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody ain't gonna keep it honest. Everybody be like, "Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that." You always doing good shit. It can't be always that like that. You know what I mean?
And here come the haters, man, talking about this man always crying in his songs, stuff like that. But this man uses his words and lyrics and his music to get through his hurt, get through his pain. You know what I mean? He's telling y'all what he going through because he trusts us as the audience to hear what he going through.
It's his
and
art.
And people don't understand that. People think it's just words, or he always crying, boo-hoo, crybaby. But people really don't know what he really going through. And for him to be vulnerable and tell us exactly what he's going through in life and how he copes through his trials and tribulations with us, shoot, we should be looking at it a different way. But nah, you got stubborn people in this world, so. But hey, I give it an 8.5.
Do you think he's getting that chastisement because he's a man? Because we know, like,
Partially.
9 times out of 10, like, well, I won't say nowadays, but
For sure,
based
'cause
off
I'm
of
a man.
historical, like, norms, men didn't tell their emotions. It wasn't a normal thing for a man to go out on a public sphere and say, "Hey, look, I'm going through X, Y, and Z. Here's where my mental and emotional space is at." This is something I won't say it's completely new, but to this degree, this is pretty different, especially when we're talking about the rap sphere. So do you think it's partially because he's a man, and why?
So I feel like if you look at like the early years of rap or hip hop, whatever you want to call it, it was very much it kind of was like that though. I mean, if you think about like Grandmaster Flash, like The Message, you know what I'm saying? Like you hear that whole song. If you listen to it, it's literally like a day in the life of a man that lives in poverty in New York City at that time period. So it's like it's not. Like, I agree with you. It's not to the same degree, but like this is a lot more. It's a very similar kind of like transparency. You know what I mean? It's hard to do that. It's hard. It is for anybody, man or women. I guess I don't know. I ain't never been a woman. I ain't trying to be a woman. You know what I mean? I like women though.
You sure? Why you had to address that? Why? You brought it up.
What you hiding under that do-rag?
Unfresh cut. The fresh cut coming tomorrow. You know, I got work tonight. You know, I'm working man. Yeah, I feel like it's because he's a man and he's being vulnerable like this on his songs. I don't think I ever heard of a female dropping an album where she opened about heartbreak, talking about depression or just life, and they came at her wrong. And they came at her wrong about it. And they came at her.
Hey, look. We was about to get on your head.
When they came at her, I ain't never seen.
We was ready.
Never seen a female drop an album on something like that, and the internet just jumped down her throat. Like, why she being so emotional? I ain't never seen that before. I could be wrong, but from what I can remember,
Hey, what Jasmine Sullivan said, these niggas be making us sad.
I ain't never seen. Cause I want to say RDDC, Mark Phillips, when they dropped a skit a couple days ago about just females and like how what they say on the song is all the same and all the different, or like all the same stuff they say. But yeah, it's either they talking about one thing that I ain't gonna mention, but if you watch the RDC whatever skit, you see what they was claiming. They say a lot of, but it's either what they claim in that skit or it's a lot of heartbreak, and that's, in my opinion, most of what they be talking about, to be honest. But yeah, I ain't never seen nobody jump down no female throat. Like, why is it? I mean, RDDC, they jumped on with the skit, but about the heartbreak and depression, my life, I ain't never seen nobody hop on a female like, why are all her songs like this? Like, I swear, Taylor Swift be on that sad stuff, but the world love her. Swifties, I ain't never heard nobody like, is she ever gonna drop a little bit, I heard a little people say, like, is she ever gonna drop a happy album? But I never heard nobody get on her like they get on Rod Wave about dropping a sad album. Like, it be killing me. Like, why y'all hate Rod Wave for his music? Like, somebody turn this depression music on. Like, you know dang well you be singing it. Like, come on. If it came on in the club,
but I
ain't
gonna hold you. I used to be one of them people. I did used to think all his music was sad. Because, like, I ain't gonna say never experienced, like, no kind of, like, once I started having stuff in my life that was, like, difficult to process, and I ain't really know how to talk about it or deal with it, I started just listening to music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was talking to my dad one time. He was telling me about how, like, so my grandmother, like, she used to get, like, abused by, like, the men she was dating and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, grandma. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Taylor right there. But anyway. And, like, afterwards, like, when she would just be by herself, like, she would just sit in the kitchen. He said she would just, like, listen to the blues. Like, not because she knew what to do with the feelings, but, like, because it helped her cope, yeah.
Relatable.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, like, I mean, that's been the story of, like, music for a long time. Like, that's why the blues exist. You know what I mean? Like, it was a time when, like, people couldn't communicate like we can now. So, like, for me, like I said, once I started to understand that personally, then I was like, oh, like, this nigga is not sad all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, in order to, like, talk about it, you probably got to be past it. Mm-hmm. It's hard to talk about it during, you know what I mean? Most of the time. Yeah. And be, like, accurate. Mm-hmm. Or, like, well thought out, you know what I mean? Especially enough to put out, like, a whole album.
Yeah. In my opinion, I feel like the world, or a lot of the world, was living in that trap music life, you know what I mean, where it got to be about guns and drugs and, you know what I mean, and violence, you know what I mean. So for someone different like Rod Wave to step in the scene and show the world something different and also be successful at it, people weren't accepting it. Like, they just weren't accepting it, you know what I mean? So I feel like because they didn't accept it, that's when all the animosity came from the viewers and the haters. Hey, he always crying about something. Like, they always find something to hate on, bro. And what people say all the time, yo, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't doing something right. So obviously he's doing something right because he have tons of haters talking about his music, how he always crying, but people just don't look at it at a positive aspect, and that'd be the issue, bro. Because if they look at it at a positive aspect, or let loose of their insecurities within themselves, then they will understand that this music is positive for all people, and it will change their life in the right direction because he's telling you what he's going through, his experience, and all that other stuff. It's how we get raised, how we're raised, bro. The people older than us tell us their experiences, and then we learn from their experiences to make sure we don't make the same mistakes they did. So Rod Wave is just telling us what he's going through, and we're going to learn what he's going through, and something we might be related to what he's going through, and how we can push through it, and having somebody with you, because a lot of people don't got that for them, bro. They don't got somebody that's going through the same stuff as them. And just hearing a successful artist going through the same stuff you're going through, that got millions of dollars, and you probably only got $7 in your bank account, but he's going through the same stuff you're going through.
-7.
You ain't lying, bro. That will warm somebody's heart, because it's like, I'm not alone.
Facts.
You're not alone. And you don't want to, and that's a great feeling when you're not alone and you can relate with somebody, and then hopefully get out that situation, you know, in a positive aspect. But
yo, I feel like a lot of people forget that, like, music, like, yes, the entertainment industry, but, like, music is art, meaning that it's supposed to have some kind of, like, symbolism, some intention, some, like, purpose deeper than just what we, like, enjoying hearing it. I mean, except for, like, some music is just, like, feel good music, you know what I'm saying? But even that has a purpose. It's supposed to make you feel good. So before you critique, like, think about, like, could you really put together an album like this? Could you really put together, like, I'm not no musical nigga, I ain't gonna lie. Just to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not me. That's not what I do. I like storytelling, but I can't tell it with, you know what I'm saying, the 808 stomping, you know what I'm saying, the harmonies. And I can't do all that.
I go.
That's what he be doing, bro.
No, I feel that for sure. I think a lot of people, maybe this reaches back to the whole sympathy, empathy thing that we talked about a while back. I already know she gonna watch this too. But I think it just hits a little harder when you can actually relate to something that he's saying. It's like that outsider's perspective. Like, I'm just looking at what's happening versus, hey, I'm actually part of what's going on. Does that make sense? So I think when people can say, hey, look, I've been through the depression, I've been through the sadness, the heartbreak, and listen to his song and find healing versus like drowning back into that same space, then something right is being done. This should be celebrated. Being able to
you know identify with it.
This is something that people should be celebrating versus bashing, shaming, and even to an extent of harassing this guy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we love us some Rod Wave, as you can tell by us in our little dance break. I call it dance music break. With
shout out to Fat Nigga.
The top 5 song in his album, not top 3. Nigel.
Great Gatsby.
Great Gatsby.
Hold on. How many? Y'all knew that was about the book in the movie.
The actual
Great
story,
Gatsby,
right?
Yeah, the number 1 song on the album. Yeah, that was about the book and the movie.
I just want to make sure y'all understood, because in the movie, watch the movie, read the book.
Would you go to that extent for a girl?
What you mean?
The whole story behind Great Gatsby. So would you go to that extent for one girl?
You know what? You know why I identify with that song? Think about it like this, right? All of us done been through some kind of heartbreak with a woman. We're just gonna be transparent. I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't got no time to lie to you. You know what I'm saying? We all done been through some heartbreak with them women, or like things not going our way in our life, right? Yep. Like, what's any different from what he's saying he did or Jay Gatsby did in the book or the movie? What's any different from that? From me saying like, damn, my feelings hurt, bro. Let's go drink. Oh, my feelings hurt. Let's go to the club. Let's go talk to these girls. Let's go like do other things to not feel and like distract myself from it. And then at the end of it, I still am stuck. Yeah, still stuck with those same feelings, and I didn't really process it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I understood it to be after reading, you know, The Great Gatsby, the book, watching the movie, and then also seeing that. Because it's like, yeah, I'm living a great life, but like the things I have, it's not really, it don't matter as much because it's not what I want. That's what I feel like he was saying in that song. You know what I'm saying? Like even late in what was the other song? Call Your Friends. He was saying like he didn't want his kids to grow up in a broken home. Like that's what I said. Like the album is a story. It just got like tracks. You know what I'm saying?
The real song, it just hit me. The real song he got the most hate about was the Boys Don't Cry John. They was what is he talking about in this one? Like the stuff he was saying in that song, they was the Rod Wave haters. They was just like, yeah, this one we ain't bumping this. Like, what is he talking about? Like, too depressed, too crazy. Like, Boys Don't Cry. And that was the one they wasn't messing with. But
it's art, bro.
They need to change they need to give it a try, listen, open up their mind, and stop being so stuck in their ways. Like, you gotta open up, man.
Right. He not
Everybody
making
live
music
different licks of life. Learn, open up, get to know somebody else's lick of life. Diversify yourself.
Agreed. Nah, for real. So with the whole Great Gatsby thing, I think it gets to a point where, or I think it gets to an issue where you throw, I'm just taking verbatim what Rod said in his song. I threw the party of the century. I do all of this just for one girl to show up, and it was all for her. Everything I do is for her. Mind you, this is just for her to show up so I get the chance to talk to her. At that point, bro, can we just live with the fact that we probably not going to see her again?
And
can we just move forward? Now, I get the whole concept of like, you know, storytelling, trying to paint a picture for the audience, you know, trying to let them know your perspective, your side, way of thinking. I get that. But at the same time, I ain't got money to be throwing parties of the century. That's not the reality for most of his consumers. It's really not. Now, am I saying his consumers need to throw probably the party of the century? No. But what he's essentially saying by doing that is put as much of an investment into something that will get her to show up, get her to respond, get her to text back, get her to call. And I'm like, why not put that investment somewhere else that might be more fruitful for yourself and get you to a place with somebody else that may even be better?
Yeah, cause we not just gonna like breeze over the fact that that's low key toxic. You know what I'm saying?
How's that? Oh, wait. How's that toxic to say, hey, look? How's that toxic to say, hey, look, I missed my chance with this girl. I'm going to invest somewhere else.
No.
Because I can't see her.
I'm not saying that part's toxic. I'm saying like, why does she not want to come? Like, what have you done to the relationship?
So
or
many
the
questions we have for
interaction
these
with her, you know what
females
I'm
that
saying?
will never be answered.
So,
Like-
wait. So, my understanding of the Great Gatsby,
Mhm.
this female, I guess I can ask you and you can give me an answer. This female, did she communicate with Jay Gatsby? Or
Yeah.
did she? Okay.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if he named it. That's why I said I feel like he named it the song because it's similar to the book.
Because they
and the
actually
story.
talked and stuff.
Because like they had her interaction and then he kind of like ruined it.
At
But
that point,
but
you
even
move
then, that's what
on.
I'm saying. Like I don't disagree with you at all. Like yeah, he done made the song. Now he can move on. You see what I mean?
I just don't think we should invest to an extent of the quote unquote party of the century. I'ma set all the stage up for you. I'ma get all the lights and the candles for a girl that don't even reciprocate energy. You only talk to her one time.
Nigel, what you got to say about that?
You know what I'm saying? You only talk
I mean,
to
hope
her
my
one time.
actually, man, go ahead. Go ahead. Nigel, what you got to say about that?
I'm over here like, dang. I'm relating too much. I got too many thoughts in my head right now. Like, I done did that. I done did that one. I done been through that. I done, what?
Yup.
I don't know. It's like through the party of the century for her. I done been there. I get what you're saying. Why do all that? Why do that when you ain't getting no energy back? But I get what you're saying. But I don't know. Sometimes, or at least when you new to it, it's like, I don't know. You get this one person who make you feel a certain way. It's like, me try and at least do what I can to like keep her around. But like after you get to a point or like you ain't getting too much energy back, hopefully you realize like, all right, you need to give it quits now. But I don't know. Sometimes you just you see you with somebody and you make a mistake. Like how you say you might have made a mistake. Like you make a mistake and you're just like, dang, I want to do better. I want to try and get you back. And you know, you try what you can, but it might not work. But I done been there, done that. I feel what Sam's saying. Like as I've been there a few times, you know, I've learned that like once you ain't getting that energy back, man, you just gotta move on, man. It's more fish in the sea, but first couple of times it can be tough, especially depending on the effect the shit done had on you. It can be a little tough. I feel him. I feel the Great Gatsby book, movie, song, all that.
Yeah, I feel like the main thing with us men, we look for, what's the word I'm looking for? Okay.
Validation.
Proper. Yes, it's on the lines of that, but damn, what I was finna say? Proper. Shut up, man. All right. Hold on. All right, there you go. All right. So we make sacrifices without the proper assurance. And let me explain.
Go ahead. I want to hear this. This sounds interesting.
Let me explain. Because us men, or I mean, it depends on how you want to categorize men, but us of age for being a man, we use proper assurance as probably through sexual intimacy or through financial support. And it's a whole bunch of attributes, but they're all divided. That's my one thing. When it comes to that assurance, it's not proper because it's divided. You need the proper. When I say proper assurance, it needs to be all together. When it comes to financial, everything. When it comes to loving and making the sacrifice for a woman, because we will make a sacrifice for a woman, for the assurance that I know she like me. I know she feeling me because we got sexual intimacy. We hanging out all the time. But you missing so many other things. So when we do make sacrifices, I feel like we need to be logical. One, first and foremost, when you're at the beginning stage of your talking stage or whatever you're doing with that partner, it has to be logical first. And then when you feel a proper assurance, that's when we make that turnover to the emotional support or just being emotional decisions. I feel like it doesn't have to be strictly emotional decisions, but you can now let go of just being logical through everything y'all go through and everything y'all do together, and then you can be logical and emotional from your mindset. It's like letting go and just letting the things be because you feel like everything is together. And I feel like we make the assumption or we pick way too early on like, yeah, she's the one. Oh yeah, she got everything. Da, da, da. And that be the thing, bro. It's like you have to take your time with knowing who you're dealing with, because it's not just oh yeah, a couple weeks. Oh yeah, we on the right page. We same page. Da 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 da. Oh yeah, we got it all together. No, you don't. No, you don't. I promise you, you don't got it all together in a matter of weeks or a matter of months. If you're really asking me.
So I guess I have a question. My bad, Sam. You guys. So, because this is something I was wondering what y'all thought about this. As a man, what would you say is the number one characteristic that you have, or that you need to bring in a relationship?
For us or for them?
As a man.
No, for y'all. I'm saying, of course, they're going to answer in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all, you know what I'm saying? The comments, yeah. But like, what you know what I'm saying? What y'all think? Number one attribute. If you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you could name more than one, but like, just like one thing, you know what I'm saying?
Mine would be self-control. You got to be able to deal with your emotions within yourself. You need to be able to deal with your mental within yourself. You need to be able to completely be able to look in the mirror and say, hey, look, I have that person under control. Am I saying I have it all put together? No. Am I the smartest? No. Am I the most intellectual? Like, am I the strongest? No. But what I can say is anything that I think of, I'm able to manage. Any emotions that I feel, I'm able to manage. I'm able to look at it and say, hey, look, I can deal with that emotion. I can figure out a way to address it and move forward. So self-control would be the biggest thing for me for a man to have approaching a relationship with a spouse or key significant other.
Yeah, I think I'm with Sam on that one. I feel like if you have self-control or some control within yourself before you even approach a relationship, then that means you're semi-ready or ready to have a partner next to you. Because a lot of people walk into relationships not even fully control of themselves or not even ready for themselves to be in a relationship. And I'm not saying you have to be 100% to go in a relationship, no, because you're not perfect. But you have to have some type of self-control before you step into a relationship, for sure.
For me, I feel like going into a relationship, at least for me personally, I would say as a man, you should be comfortable with yourself. I don't know, at least from my experience, you should be comfortable with yourself, be able to go into a relationship and just be you. Not to where it's like you done been in a relationship, time go down the line, and things you was trying to put on for her at the beginning ain't there no more because now the real you coming back. Just being able to go into a relationship from the get-go and just be you. Like, she don't accept you. If she doesn't accept you for you, like, it is what it is, move on to the next one. But don't put up a front to try and, like, make her want you. Like, because at the end of the day, time will go by, the real you will come out, goes both ways. But that'd be my biggest thing. Being able to start a relationship and just be you. Like, do you. Like, don't put up a front.
Yeah. I feel like I definitely agree with, everything, parts of most of what y'all saying. Because for me, it boils down to like having a foundation. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is my foundation? What do I actually believe? What do I want? Like, you talked about self-confidence. That means like knowing myself. You talked about self-control. That's having discipline. Like, I mean, like you said, I couldn't have said it any better. I ain't there. I'm not all the way there yet. But like, I feel like it's hard to like put into just like one thing. Like I said, I was just picking y'all brains a little bit. Wonder what y'all thought about that.
It's always gonna be a multitude of things, man. Like I don't know if you've ever looked into like sedimentary rock, but like sedimentary rocks are like a multitude of different types of rocks.
Yeah.
But they just
Pressed
call
together.
it sedimentary, like a sedimentary rock. You know what I'm saying? And like that's what a man's life is. Like it's a multitude of things just trying to be compiled into one, so that we're like, we have a nucleus, we have a core, and then things branch out from that point. So yeah, it's going to be self-control. It's going to be discipline. It's going to be self-confidence. It's going to be mental fortitude. It's going to be a whole lot of things. It's never going to be that one thing. But I definitely think if we can hone in on one thing at a time as we progress as men versus trying to tackle everything at once. Like for me, there's no way you're going to tell me I need to work on self-control and self-confidence at the same time. One over the other. Because those are two of the biggest things for me personally to deal with. Like me having confidence in myself and me having self-control are two, like I need time and investment into each one specifically. So that takes time. You know what I'm saying? Some people are different. Don't get me wrong. Some people might be different. You may be a better man than me. You know what I'm saying? As they would say. But that's just me. We're sedimentary rocks, man. We're a bunch of different stuff. Sometimes boiled into one person. So, all right. Anything else y'all wanted to talk about? I know we missed on some of the stuff we talked about earlier. I know you a little tight on time. 1920. So,
I don't know. The topics just come back to my mind. The main one is the biggest one that impacts us right now. That's the main one I can think about.
Government shutdown.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I've seen this government shutdown thing before. Heard of it. Our mother was in the federal government. We heard about government shutdowns all the time. Of course, it's a real thing.
Has it ever happened before?
Yes.
I mean, it's happened before for sure.
Like a couple times, like
couple.
I know a couple people like deadass. No, deadass. I know some people in the military. Like just the other week, they was like, "Yeah, this like the third or fourth time this happened in my career."
Oh hell no!
It happened back in for sure 2010.
Yeah, in 2008,
and then
in 2011,
2016.
it almost happens every year for real.
2016.
And it's around the same time. Like it's the fiscal year, bro. Like we're moving into the new fiscal year, so it's bound to happen.
But honestly, what the craziest part about it is to me? Not even just because obviously I work for the federal government. Military members are considered non-essential. Non-essential employees. Like, how?
Is that true? Is that real?
Yeah, but
Are
you
you
gotta look
serious?
at
And
it.
that's why we won't be getting, military won't be getting paid if they don't reach a budget. Congress will still get paid.
If you was essential, you'll be coming in during them snowstorms, them rainy nights where you can't drive outside and all that other stuff. I understand. I understand. Y'all probably still go in.
Say they.
For me, nah, I'm chilling at the crib.
Nah, because when something go down,
If calm goes down, bro, you don't remember.
Oh, it went down. I was there.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But I wasn't like I wasn't outside because I didn't really have to do nothing. I just I'm sorry. I'm not empathizing for y'all right now. Because y'all be going through it. I don't be going through it. I'll be chilling. I'll be working at home. But yeah, I mean, damn, I feel bad for y'all, man. I feel bad for y'all. I hope
That's wild.
I hope the government fix that. Fix my homeboys. Make sure they are essential.
October 1st gonna be it's either gonna be a good day or a sad.
We don't get paid, bro. You already got paid for October
That
1st.
back pay, man.
Yeah, you got paid for
You already
September.
got paid, but you talking about 15th and then the next month and da.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Back pay my ass. I want my damn paycheck. Dude, Paul, look.
Pause.
They gonna pay you, bro.
Pause.
They gonna pay you, bro.
Time out.
The bad thing is they ain't gonna give you no bonus on top of your pay for not getting paid the pay you were supposed to pay. I mean, you're supposed to get paid.
And this is just for the record. This is not advocating anything for or against the government. None of that.
Yeah.
However,
Thank you.
We just telling you
But
our
forget y'all.
perspective. You know what
I
I'm saying?
want to do this thing long term. If this really happens in my career, like you said, buddy said 2-3 times.
They've been in
my
23
God.
years, and they said it's happened 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for 20-something years.
This gonna
Well,
turn.
I'm talking
me,
about not getting paid 3 or 4 times.
But you get reimbursed, and it doesn't last it doesn't last long.
Yeah.
like how long? Like typically how long?
Worst come to worst, you miss 2 paychecks.
Yep.
And you get reimbursed.
Yep.
Bro, save your money.
You don't even pay rent, fool. You don't even pay
Yeah,
rent.
you're not even paying.
You don't pay rent.
Bro.
Oh Lord.
He's just doing the calculations in his head. Honestly, though, I ain't gonna lie. On the same similar topic, bro, I feel like they should implement age restrictions on like holding public office. Like for example, like Mitch McConnell was froze up on like public TV like twice.
Yeah.
In just in the last couple months. Joe Biden's done it.
Yep.
You know, a lot of the public figures that are like older.
They do, bro.
And
But
it's not like I don't agree with their policy or disagree, whatever, but like once you get a certain age, like, yo, that's embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my that's my grandfather. Like I just let my grandfather just go up there and just
I completely understand.
You know what I'm saying?
I think age plays a huge factor behind it. But I think it's more of a health thing. Because the same way people freeze up when they're 80, 85, they can freeze up when they're 60 if they don't take care of themselves. They can go through a lot of mental health stuff or whatever the case may be. I think what it should be is a but overall health analysis of that person in Congress. That's either annual,
that's an essential employee.
Sure.
Let's remember that.
I'll give you that.
They essential.
I'll give you that. That's fine. That's fine with me.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
crazy to me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
He could freeze up on TV, damn near
Oh,
look like
okay,
he
I
having
see
a
what
stroke
you're
like
saying. Yeah.
twice, right? But if I do that, I'm unfit for duty and I'm getting the boot. You know what I'm saying?
Medically discharged.
With the quickness. Thank you for your service. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. I
why is it
completely
not the
understand
same
that.
thing for someone that's essential? You know what I mean? And that's like I said.
That's some way higher than, that lives in the rafters somewhere at like Staples Center. I'm not going up there. I'm not going to see what's up there. That's some type of talking that I will probably never hear.
I was just wondering
Yeah,
y'all
man.
thoughts on it. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, I'm cool with Joe Biden being who he is.
And
If he
old.
doesn't, like, if he's old but still effective, cool. As long as you get the job done. I don't care if you're 80. I don't care if you're 90 getting the job done. If you're getting the job done, you're getting the job done. I only have a problem when the job's not getting done. That should be the argument. That should be the problem at the end of the day. In my opinion. Once the mission's not being accomplished or it's ineffective, then we move forward. We figure out something else. We figure out a different course of action.
And like you said earlier, if you're not fit to be in that position, why are you in that position? You need to be healthy and fit for that position.
Of
too.
sound body and mind.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I think we'll see. I mean, it's the world we live in. There's some things that we can't change by voting. Some things we can't change. I think that's one of those situations where it's like, that's out of our reach, bro. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
because
we're
I don't
gonna
live
do.
in their state
Yeah,
or
like-
you know what I'm saying, whatever.
I'm not dealing with that personally. It's not in my district. I'm worried about Steny Hoyer, Ben Cardin, and Chris Van Hollen. All three of those are like good to go. Like all those guys are good. Maryland District 5. Only reason why I know that is because I'm applying to the academy. But yeah, we're good to go. We're good. But all that to say, that's out of our realm. We most likely don't care about this stuff. All right. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about, I'm gonna wrap it up. What you heard about?
2 paychecks.
Oh my gosh.
I'm hurt. I'm depressed.
You'll be fine.
I ain't gonna lie. I switched up. I get paid once a month now, right? Because you can, choose to do that.
You
When I-
got both of your shits today.
Yeah, when I first signed up for that joint, right? I ain't get paid for like a month and a half. The hardest month of my life, like financially, since I've been in this work. But after getting through it, it's like, it's not that bad. And they do back pay you. So it's like,
You'll be fine. bro.
Back pay my.
fam, you don't have no rent. You ain't got no kids. you ain't got no. Not to minimize, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
my money and I want it now. Damn it.
Call JG Whitworth.
Hey, whoa, no sponsorship. They ain't getting no sponsorship.
Cash now.
12-hour shifts. Come on, man.
Well, we'll hope that Nigel gets his money moving forward. Hopefully, we all get our money moving
That's gonna be
forward.
the little picture when you first see the
Thumbnail?
video. Nigel scratching his head.
I might as well use that. I might as well. But yeah, we appreciate y'all tuning into the Packed Out Podcast, episode 10. Appreciate you being here, Park. Nigel, Bam, I'm your boy Sam. Check us out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see y'all in the next episode. Peace.
P.O.P. Hold it down.